Tom, Arista made another big acquisition in the networking space. This week, they announced the purchase of Pluribus Networks for an undisclosed amount. The acquisition marries the adaptive cloud fabric of Pluribus to the existing Arista Converged Cloud Fabric offering. Pluribus has gone through several iterations of their offering, many of them shown at Networking Field Day over the past 8 years. One of the keys to the success for Pluribus, though, is the decentralized nature of their fabric, which should integrate nicely with Arista's CloudVision. Tom, what do you make of this pickup by Arista?
So I actually think this is a really good move for Arista because they're kind of focusing on doing a lot with this fabric offering that they've had, and they're Arista. Let me quote Doug Gourlay from many years ago. They make 10 gig data center switches. Well, that's not true anymore. They actually make a lot more than that, but they're really very focused on the switching aspect of things. And we've seen Arista a number of times at Networking Field Day and many other events over the years. But Pluribus is a very interesting thing because like they originally didn't start out building a fabric. They were doing a lot of other things, and so they've pivoted a couple of times along the way. Most recently, if you go to gestaltit.com and you search for Pluribus, you can actually find that last year we did a showcase with them, a Tech Field Day showcase, where we talked a little bit about some of the EVP and BGP stuff that they're doing. But a lot of it comes down to simplicity. Like what they want is they want you to be able to log in and set this fabric up really quickly, which is something that I think has been missing from a lot of these technologies as of late. It's really easy to operate. Yeah, totally. Once you get that car driving down the road, it's really easy to just let it drive itself. If we'll use Tesla as an example, but look at all the stuff you've got to do in order to make sure that it just works before you do that. You got to install a charger in your house, and you got to do all this other stuff, and you got to like do all the tweaking. And I think that that's the part that a lot of people get hung up on because they just kind of throw their hands up in the air and say, well, forget it, I'll just take the bus. Whereas Pluribus has done a lot on the upfront side to make sure that their fabrics are easy to deploy. And now, with adding the power of CloudVision and integrating this all into Arista's Cloud Fabric offerings, I think what you're going to see is it's going to be easier to get Arista up and running, and it's going to be a whole lot easier to operate it after the fact. So I think that this is a big pickup. The fact that the amount was undisclosed kind of makes me wonder if Pluribus was starting to get to the end of their runway. We've talked a lot recently about the fact that there's been a huge funding crunch in the tech space, both from the fact that the venture capitalists are pulling back the amount of funding that they're offering, but also the tech stocks in the public sector are taking a beating. So I think what's happened is that a lot of companies have had to be really honest with themselves, and maybe the time for their exit strategy to be acquisition, maybe not for as much as they had hoped, is fast approaching. But congratulations to the team from Pluribus, and congratulations to the folks at Arista. They're very they're very much looking forward to the way that they're going to be able to integrate Pluribus into their offerings.